I'm back with another part of the 60 Great Women Enshrined in Islamic History, and we will be talking about the Queen Bilqis. I will try to keep it short because I feel like the videos can get too long, and I'm trying to avoid doing two parts. Like, I just want to stick to one part if I can, unless if the story itself is like really long. However, the story of Bilqis cannot be mentioned without mentioning the story of Prophet Sulaiman Islam. He inherited prophecy, knowledge, and leadership from his father, the Buddha Islam, and he was given a distinction of being a knowledgeable king with kingdom so great that no other kingdom before others compasses. And he was blessed to have communication um, with birds and shaitan and jinn. One time, one of the birds, I think it's pronounced as Hopo, was not, he was nowhere to be found, and Suman Islam was a little surprised. So he did ask Hopo about when he came back, like what happened. So he did end up going to the land of Sheba, and he was describing how it looks, which is in the current present day of Yemen, and he did mention that there is a powerful woman by the name of Bilqis ruling it, and that the throne is really, extravagant. He mentioned about the throne, and he also mentioned that they were in worship of the sun instead of God, a god. They were worship of the sun instead of the god. So Sulman Islam had provided a letter to him, the bird, to take it over to Bilqis. And the letter, when got into Bilqis, it was talking about, turn themselves to, like, submit towards God instead of the sun. And she was a little surprised. So Bilqis wanted to see how, Salman Islam's personality was. So she actually sent her messengers or whatever she calls them to take elaborate gifts such as jewelries and pearls to see his reaction. So when they took over, when they went, the messengers, they felt a little, you know, embarrassed by the way they saw how he was living and everything. And Salman Islam did tell them that he does not desire any of the worldly riches that they brought along with him, and that he only wants he only is wanting them to submit to the rule of God and life of goodness and virtue instead of like worshiping the sun. Now, this was brought back to Bilqis, and she wanted to go visit herself. And since Sulaiman Islam was able to talk to Jinn, he asked to bring over the throne, and the Jinn did. And she made a little minor changes. By the time the minor changes were made, Queen Bilqis did had reached by that time and was surprised about it. Um, and but she was, how do you call it? Um, she was still held back by the submission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at first. And so Sulman Islam's palace is made of glass, and which is made on top of a flowing water, to which she was a little hesitant at first to get in because she felt like she might get into the water and get wet. Um, then, when Prophet Sulaiman Islam explained to Bilqis that she was not stepping in water, but rather onto glass built on top of flowing water, she realized that this is no ordinary kingdom, and that has begun into no ordinary king. And she, at that point, had turned to God in prayer and said, "My Lord, I have indeed wronged myself by worshipping the sun, and I now submit myself with Sulaiman to God alone, Lord of all worlds."